I'm April Sawtelle and welcome to my channel. I've lost my voice and I'm going to try to get through this video. Today I'm just working on my scrap. I've got a ton of scraps out and I just want to get those put away. I have a video I'm going to link below. It's another time that I made a video and showed you how I was doing my scraps. I was changing my ways back then. That way has worked great for me and I'm going to continue to do it, and I'm just going to be going through everything I've been working on lately to get these all under control. So what I'm sorting today is just all of the scraps that I have taken into my house. I'll bring in bins of scraps. I throw them in a bag. A lot of them will start out in plastic bags, recyclable plastic bags, of course. And I'll just grab colors that I think I might need when I'm like in the house, just having time to make some little scrappy projects. So these ones are already in bags, so these won't need anything. I can just add to them. So all I'm going to do today is sort these and take you along with me. If you're a scrappy quilter like I am, you know that these can get out of hand very, very quickly. So I just start by dumping everything out. See, when I'm in the house, I bring in everything. I can throw things in any kind of bin, run them into the house with me, between the bags, little buckets, and just, loosely. I have a lot of these laundry baskets. I keep these under my long arm. I use a lot of recycled fabric, such as clothes, blankets, sheets, you name it. I like to use those. So I do have a lot of scraps. I like to just have them by color. So that way when I need a project, like I was working on some red and these colors were in the house, so I needed those colors. But then I start accumulating more. The more you start cutting into something, the more scraps you're gonna get. So I just want to take a few minutes today to get this under control. And of course, I've got my recycled bags. I'd like to use those up as well. Oh, and I've got my little bag of Christmas scraps. And those do need to go back into the house. In the house, I like to keep a basket beside me at all times. So whenever I feel like making a small little project, I can. I don't have to come out to the sewing room when I just feel like, 10 minutes of sewing or something like that. Okay, so I had these blue ones in the house too. This is going to be relatively easy because I've already got some of the bags started in here. There's a big pile. Working with scraps is my favorite. I know I say it all the time, but it really is my favorite type of sewing. And working with old clothes, that's my absolute favorite too. So I'll just move all of these ones that are already in the bags right out of the way. And I'll be adding to them as I go. So then I just take all of my scraps and I start color coordinating them. So I just start throwing them into piles. I don't really go by size at all because I just grab and go. So like this shirt, this blue shirt, I don't know if it's been cut yet. Nope, this one has not been cut up yet. So this one just gonna go into the blue pile. And it's gonna go in just like that. I'm not gonna take it apart until I'm ready for it. There was a time that I did take them apart beforehand, but there's just no need for me to. When I need it, I can cut it into whatever size I want at the time for the project. But instead of like folding this and putting it on nice and neat somewhere, I'm just gonna leave it right in with the scraps. I hope I'm gonna be able to continue this video with my voice. I'm hoping I don't have to do a voiceover later or to put music to it, because you'll see my head bobbing and me talking and no voice coming out. If it gets bad, I'm just gonna show the video and you'll see the process. So all the scraps I just take, I don't cut anything down. I just put it according to color. One thing I do is like neutrals. I try to always keep those in a little pile by themselves. I don't have a lot of neutrals, so that's why I do that. Those are gonna take up a little bit of space. You can see these are old shirts that have all been cut down as I go. And I don't even cut the buttons and stuff off it till I need it. I used to kind of separate it, like I said, but I don't like doing that anymore. I like just throwing it in a pile. And it's all gonna go into a big bin anyway. So when I pull it out, it's gonna be easy to find the colors that I wanna find, you know. So, this is a nice big scrap. This was just a cut off of something. One thing I do is I keep all of my denim together. My denim is in one big basket. I might have several actually, maybe 2 or 3 big baskets of just denim. I do keep that all separate. They're big and bulky and, you know, I have quite a lot of pieces. So I don't put like the denim with the blues, you know. And if you do this every once in a while, it really gets done quickly. It only takes a few minutes. It just looks so overwhelming at first though. It is overwhelming, you know, when you have all these bags and bins in your area taking up space. So once you I'm gonna leave this together. This is purples and whites, so that's just gonna stay together because usually I use white with purple anyway, so we'll keep that together. And like this is gonna go to stay together too. I'm not gonna tear that all down. This was an old project I'd made a quilt out of, and I probably just wanted a few little pieces of a color in the house, so I think I'll just put that with orange. So just light colors with light colors. Whites I keep separate too. I always keep the white pile together. That way when I need a white, I can just grab a bag of whites. Unless of course it's connected to something like that. But that would stay with the purples. Okay. So the white ones, when they have print like this, I like to put the print with whatever color stands out the most. So like this would be with the blues. But this one would be with the purples because it's got mostly purple in it. One thing I like to do too is when I have pieces like this, I don't really put this with the colors. I put these ones, when they're already blocks and stuff, I just put them together in a separate area. That way if I need a quick block or something, I know to go to that area. They're already sewn together and I don't want to pull those apart. So I like to do that with those. And I save a lot of tiny stuff too. A sleeve from some clothes. So I already have my red bin here. I can just add to it. So I just continue to make all of my piles. Another thing I do is all of my Christmas scraps and all of my Christmas fabric are completely separate from this fabric. So like this is a piece of Christmas fabric that I would call Christmas fabric. That's gonna go right here. I was working on some Christmas scraps in the house, so I'll put that back with the Christmas bag of Christmas scraps. And I have bins over there with Christmas fabric and Christmas scraps. I just grabbed a bunch to bring into the house to work on a project. Funny, because what color is this supposed to go with? For some reason, the purple sticks out the most to me. And there's not even that much, but to me, it looks like it's in the purple family. So I'm gonna put it with the purples. When I get my batten scraps, I save those as well, but I'll save those in a baggie by themselves. Every once in a while, I get a scrap that's all sewed onto the batten. I'll just save that too. Whites and cream colors I put together. getting down there. See how small this is? This is still a scrap for me to work with. Blue, green. Guess it's gonna go with the greens. That's blue. Blue or yellow, right? Blue. I'm gonna put that with the neutrals. I don't take too long to try to figure it out. It's just like what comes to mind really quick. That's how I do it. That's a piece that's already all sewn together, so that's nice. When you're looking for fabric that's already like pieced together, you're building fabric, it's nice to grab those pieces. I'm not really sure where to put this fur. I'm gonna set this one aside and think about that. I don't have a lot of scraps like that, so I feel like that might just need a little area all by itself. On the project I just made for some of the grandkids was, I made tooth fairy pillows, so I used the fur for the pockets. Felt I have all by itself. I also used felt recently for that project, so that will go in with the felt scraps, which I have somewhere. I think I already took care of those scraps. My baggies, I always use the baggies that came with something too. I reuse everything. I think that's part of the fun for me. So it's like, what can I use? How can I recycle this? What can I do with it? Ugly little mess. That'll be fun in some project. I'll put that with the pieces that are all sewn together. I think sorting scraps is so much fun. Like this is sewn together, but it's mostly neutrals, so I guess I'll tear that one off. I keep black and browns together too. As a matter of fact, here was a baggie that I brought in that did have some blacks and browns. And I'll just put those right in there. We're getting down to the little tiny bits here. I'm dropping the batten in the basket. Yellows and oranges I put together too. Now I'm really down to the fine little crumbs. So I'm just gonna buzz right through this. And I'm just grabbing the biggest pieces I see first. Okay, so I got the biggest pieces out of here. The rest are very, very tiny. They're very slim. Now I'll go back to my batten and I'm just gonna throw in the pieces that are really, really small. Like this, I will use this in something. This isn't small enough to cut up for me. I will keep that. But like these little pieces, little things like that. But like this is definitely not something I'm gonna put in these little tiny bits. Okay. So now what I'm going to do with what's left, because these are very, very tiny. Well, maybe that one's okay. Okay, I'm just going to take what's left now. I'm just going to take my rotary cutter and I'm just going to cut these all up right now. I'll cut these up into tiny bits and I'm going to put these in a baggie and I'm going to save these, and they're going to go inside as stuffing into one of the little toys I make, or the dolls I make, or the little pillows I make, and I'm going to reuse that as well. So for these, I'm just going to take this old Ziploc baggie and I'll throw these little small crumbles, I will throw right in a baggie. I'll keep this on top of the scrap bin with the others. And then I'll just take all of my old baggies that I have. You know, I've pulled scraps out of them before, I've had fabric in it before, and I'll just start putting them back in by color. Now, sometimes I drop these into the bin, and sometimes they're in a baggie, and sometimes they're not, but they'll be in a color-coordinated bin. I don't care if I don't zip it, because it's easy for me to just come with a handful and just cram it in, so I don't always zip them either. I already had a pink baggie going, so I'm just gonna push this right into the pink. And I got an extra baggie. I really kind of like having them in baggies, because when I go and I want to bring these out to like into my house where I'm going to sew, I like to just be able to grab a couple of different baggies and not have to bring in those big bins. But a lot of times too, I will just like take handfuls out of the big bins and throw them in baggies, because I might only need one baggie of, you know, 5 different colors. So I just like having my scraps by color. That way it just makes it easy for me to find them. To be able to pull out just what I need. I save everything. Like in the scraps that I'm going to show you in a second, I have like bags, or they're just laying in you know, baskets like this of all kinds of this, but for now these are just going to go into a baggie. I always iron everything before I use it, so I don't or as I'm sewing I iron it, so it's fine with me if it's all wrinkly like this. I always put yellows and oranges together too. Say I throw away stuff, but as you can see, I just found these 2 pieces, and no, these are going to go in with the stuff in. I don't throw much away. I've done videos where I said I'm going to get better at I'm going to get better at throwing stuff away, but I'm still working on it. I think I'm learning to accept it a little bit more now, though. And I think I'm trying not to bring in too much stuff. I'm trying not to buy too much stuff. So I think that's helping. Okay, so let's go over and see where I put these. Okay, let's go find a home for all this funness. So when I pull these out, you can see like these are the pinks, and you can see there's like lots of different bags. Some are loose in there too. So I'm just gonna drop my bag of pinks right in there. And I have a pink towel here, and I'm gonna lay that right on top. I'm going to eventually put some fabric on the ends. I said that in another video and I still haven't done it. But that would help me a lot to just reference my basket from the outside at a quick glance. Like this one is just pieces of sewn together blocks and stuff. I don't mind if I even take out these blocks and lay them on top. I always just think that looks nice anyway when I look down at my baskets and I see, like, you know, finished blocks, so I can lay that right on top. Or sometimes I even lay like this would go on top of the bin that would be red. But that's kind of what I'm hoping to do, like on the outside. Just make it so I can quick reference what color it is. That's it for another time though. And like here's all my, these are a lot of just darker fabrics. And I'm just gonna put my blacks right in with that. That one doesn't go there, that's purples. I'm just gonna put this little bag right in there. There's a couple of scrap blocks. Those are supposed to be with the scrap blocks over here. In that, that makes it nice when I just want to grab one piece of fabric already done. As a matter of fact, the project I'm working on right now, I probably could just take these and cut pieces. I'm cutting some blocks out, so some small blocks. So I think I'm going to take these two in with me and work on those. I don't have a lot of purples, and I usually do pinks and purples together, so that is going to go in the pink bin. Same with my neutrals. I don't really have a whole huge bin of them, but I have a whole lot of clothes to cut down, so that's just going to go right in with those. And I just might lay a towel over it to keep it from getting dusty. And like this bin has mostly reds in it, so I'm just going to drop my bag of reds right in there. And then I've got it covered over with just a red piece of fabric. I have this on both sides of my long arm, so I'm going to put the blues right in here with the greens. You can see on this side of my long arm I have my scraps, and then I just put a basket here. It's kind of my catch-all, and then I will sort those out as I need to. And this one, like, it's all batten underneath. It's scrap batten though, but they're big pieces, so I like to keep that separate from those little ones. But I will put the little pieces of batten like right here in the basket, and that way I'll be able to find them. Like I've got another bag of purples, so I'll cram that right in this bag with the pinks and purples. Cover that over. Blues and greens, for the most part, is what I probably have the most of. And I keep those together, and they're mostly sorted. I mean, the greens are with the greens all through. I've got a variety of bags and loose. And I'll just cover that up too. So like my tiny little bits, I'll just put here with my scrap batten, and that way I'm sure to grab that. And I'll also put I have my bag over there of my scrap batten, and I'll lay that on top too. Okay, that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time. Remember to keep it simple. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye. Please like and subscribe. Say bye, little Miss Ready Thready.